Hey everybody, Jason Rivera here for, I believe, episode 4 or 5 of Value Investing in Your Car. I'm here today to talk about nothing value investing related, nothing learning related, nothing business related, etc. Stuff we normally talk about here. I'm here today to talk about my third daughter being born. Tomorrow, by the time you see this, it will be today as this post is released. Talking about my third daughter being born Tuesday, January 9th. I'm crazy excited about that. Today I wanted to talk about not necessarily my third daughter being born, but what family has meant to me and how it has pushed me to get to where I'm at today and where I'm going. I'm sure some of you have seen the story that I've posted on the blog and elsewhere. I've talked about, I think, on the webinar I've done, on the blog several times, about kind of how I got into value investing. But for those who haven't seen those videos or seen those stories, I thought this was the perfect time to bring it up. In high school, we had a class called consumerism class, where it taught us things like basic financial literacy, how to write checks, how to get a credit card, how to do college loans, stuff like that. But the one thing that kind of stuck with me from that class was our teacher taught us a very brief lesson on the power of compound interest. It was incredibly powerful. If I remember correctly, the example, this is how powerful it was. I graduated in 2005, so that was coming up on 13 years ago now. And I can still, if memory serves me, I can still remember his example of the power of compound interest today. I think the example was, if you put $2,000 in a bank account and it's earning, at that time it was earning a decent rate. I don't remember the exact rate, but it was earning a decent rate. Or you put it in a mutual fund or something that earns a decent rate, you'll have more money in 30 years than if you waited 5 years and then invested $2,000 every year for 25 years after that. I think that was the example, or something similar. So that it just illustrated the power of compound interest. And that we also did a stock competition in that class where we got to do basic evaluation. We got a $100,000 fake money portfolio, and we put it into a group of stocks. Being normal hormone-fueled teenage boys, we put it into stuff like Playboy, Nike. I don't remember the other ones, but Playboy and Nike were the two ones we put most of our stock in, or put most of our portfolio in. And then towards the end, as the year kept going along, being normal seniors, my classmates or my team members got further and further disengaged with what we were doing, so I had pretty much free reign to do whatever I want, since I was the only one even remotely interested. I ended up finding out about a company that at the time had just recently IPO'd, and for around $50 to $70 a share, if I remember correctly. And it was a powerful world leader already at that point. Wasn't doing nearly as much as it's doing now today, but it was still a powerful world leader, had a moat, or what I would call later a moat. And then I sold all the other stocks we had in our portfolio and put all that money into that one company. And while I didn't win the competition, the semester-long competition for my teammates, over time, I would have made millions of dollars off that $100,000 fake money investment if I would have really invested $100,000 into it. That company is Google, which is now one of the largest companies in the world, or actually Alphabet now, after it's changed its parent company's name, but same difference. They're in worldwide leader in search still today, worldwide leader in smartphones. I believe Android overtook iPhone last year, year before, something like that. Operating systems, gaming, they like Amazon are taking over a different part of the world, but they're still taking over the world. So what does this have to do with my family and what I'm doing today and my third daughter? Well, several years later, I ended up marrying my high school sweetheart, and she came out of the bathroom and said, "Babe, I'm pregnant." Now, at that time, I've talked about my health issues and dizziness in the past quite a bit, but at that time, I wasn't able to function or do anything for more than 30 minutes a day, or I would feel terrible for the rest of the day. This was an everyday thing for, at that point, I want to say 5 to 6 years, where every day the max I could do was 30 minutes of whatever it was, reading, walking, playing video games I couldn't really do at that time. I can't remember really much about that time because frankly I couldn't do much. There's nothing memorable at that time except as awful or as horrible as I felt on a consistent everyday basis for almost 10 years. And now we're going on, I still deal with it a little bit. As long as I don't move, I'm relatively decent most of the time. But now we're going on 2004 is when it started, so almost 14 years now. And extreme dizziness is what I dealt with in the past and is mostly under control now, as long as I'm not moving around too much, or as long as I'm not sick, or as long as I don't overwork myself. I'm relatively pretty good most of the time, which is great. But again, what does it have to do with my family and my third daughter coming tomorrow, or what, by the time you see this today? Because I remember hearing those words. I was playing my PlayStation 3, FIFA Soccer, my PlayStation 3, and I heard those words, "Babe, I'm pregnant." I didn't even register in my brain. And then I said okay, and then went back to play my game. And a couple seconds later, it finally registered. I was like, "What?" And I said to her, "What did you say?" And she said, "I'm pregnant." And of course, we hugged and kissed and all that kind of normal stuff. And then I immediately thought, "Oh shit." Not because I was worried about having a kid. Well, I was, but that was a different kind of nervousness. But my main concern was that at that point I had no skills. I couldn't go to college because of my health issues. I still on an every single day basis felt miserable 95 to 99% of the day. Again, didn't go to college, didn't have any skills, didn't have any kind of knowledge whatsoever, but I knew at that point that I had to do something to, in the future, even if I never got fully healthy, what they called, quote, fully healthy, and I'll probably never be back there again. I've been told by probably now dozens of different doctors and specialists and occupational therapists and neurologists, and I'll probably never be 100% what they call, quote, normal, healthy, or whatever. I can't remember the exact term they used. I think they just said I'd never be 100% healthy back to where I used to be before this all started. So I knew even if I was never to be 100% healthy, I had to be able to bring in money at some point, even if it was years down the road. I thought of 3 things at that time to do, or that I could do, to make money at some point, even if it wasn't then. The first was to become a politician, but of course nobody likes politicians. And I'm a terrible liar, so that would have been a horrible choice, life choice for me. Number 2 was to become a writer, and at that time I was terrible at it. I didn't like it, never did it, hated doing it, never liked it as a kid. And it's funny because now I do that. I write on a pretty much everyday basis. And the third thing was to become an investor or a business person of some kind, and that's where that power of compound interest, back from, at that point, that had been 4 or 5 years later, that example that I told you about a little bit ago from my consumerism class still stuck with me, and that is kind of what set me on the path I'm still on today. So without hearing those 3 magic words from our first daughter, in, was that 2009 now? No, 2010. 2010. Without hearing those 3 magic words in 2010, I wouldn't be doing anything I'm doing today. I wouldn't be helping anybody I'm helping today. I wouldn't be trying to do all the things I'm trying to do. I wouldn't have met with people or done business with people or talked with people that were worth more than $500 million last year. I wouldn't have a team. I might not even be alive, in all honesty. Value investing kind of saved my life after a year, and that's we'll talk about that on a different day, because today is about family and the power of family and my daughter being born. I don't want to go to that place right now. But that is the power of family and kids and wives and girlfriends and boyfriends and husbands, and if you have good people around you, they will want you to be better, not only for yourself but for them. Or if you hear 3 magic words like that, like babe, I'm pregnant, and you're in a dark place and you don't think you have any skills and anything like that, it might be the kickstart you need to be like, oh crap, I need to do something to provide for this life that I'm going to be taking care of. And again, that's those 3 words almost 8 years ago now. Almost 8 years exactly, actually. I think that was in March or April of 2010 when my wife told me that. So yeah, that's set me on everything I'm doing now, all the people I'm trying to help, all the goals I have, everything. Those 3 magic words, babe, I'm pregnant. So if you're dealing with something similar, look for a spark. But that's a bit about me and why I do what I do and why I'm trying to help as many people as I possibly can, is for my family, for my daughters, my now 3 daughters by the time you see this. 3 daughters, my wife, my parents, my brother, my sister-in-law, their kids, and all my team members and their families and their kids, and all the people that we can help throughout the entire world. And I've talked about this before. Value investing is a very valuable skill, not just in the value investing and business world, but I believe the skills from value investing are transferable throughout the entire world, throughout everyday life. So that's why I'm trying to help as many people as I possibly can. And I hope seeing this video will help you in some way if you're dealing with something similar. You have a great event coming, maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you're depressed, whatever. If you are, reach out to me, Jason Rivera at valueinvestingjourney.com, Jason Rivera at valueinvestingjourney.com. As I said, I've dealt with depression and stuff in the past, especially with my severe health issues for more than 10 years. There were times where I wanted to give up. So if you ever need anything or in that, either kind of in that same place, I've already talked with several other people in the past about that kind of stuff, and there's several ways I can help or at least point you in the right direction to. But that is the full power of family and kids and drive and passion and all that kind of rolled up into one. And that is happening for me for the 3rd time. By the time you see this today, my 3rd child should be born, and I will be away for a couple days and taking care of my wife, taking care of my brand new daughter, getting into our new routines, making sure our older daughters don't get jealous and start fighting with each other, all this kind of fun stuff. So but this is that's what I wanted to talk about today, is the power of family and the power of even just 3 magic words that literally changed kind of the course I was on, changed my life. You never know when those moments are going to happen, and when they do, hopefully you make the right decision. I believe I have up to this point, and everything. Of course, there's things I could have done better if I would have known better, but I'm doing the best I can with what I've got and the knowledge I have today, and that's why I'm learning every day, is try to keep improving on what I'm doing every day and help more people. So the blog posts will keep going for at least this week, and I'll probably be back next week for good. So if you need to reach out to me, leave me an email at the Jason Rivera at valueinvestingjourney.com, or a comment below, or a Facebook message, Twitter message, whatever, however you want to reach me, and I'll get back to it probably within the week. I will still have access to internet, obviously. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to be at the hospital and getting into our new situation with our third child. So I'll have the internet, but I likely will be mostly off the internet for the next few days at the very least, if not more, depending on how everything goes. So I will talk to you soon, and I hope this helps in some way, somebody out there. Thanks a lot, and I will talk to you again soon. And next time I talk to you, I will have 3 daughters instead of 2 daughters now. So it's very exciting. I'll talk to you soon again. Thanks. Bye.